Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the COGO Podcast. My name is R.W. Moody. I'm the Associate State Pastor here at COGO Ministries, and you are listening and watching the COGO Podcast. And so don't forget, the purpose of this podcast is to move leaders in the state of Ohio to be challenged through bite-sized conversations about ministry, leadership, and growth. And so we hope in these few moments together today that you will lean into your God call, and then maybe, just maybe, something that is said today will challenge you right in your ministry where you serve in this great state. And so today we have with us a wonderful friend of Ohio Ministries, Leslie Barnes. Say hello, Leslie.
Hello, so good to see you. Glad to be here.
How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very well.
Good. Thank you so much for being willing to be a part of the COGO Podcast. I think this is your first time on the podcast, right?
Absolutely, first time.
Well, welcome. Hey, just for the sake of people who might not know who you are, I know that you are well known in our movement. You're well known in our state. But just for the sake of those who might not know who you are, tell us about who you are, where you serve, and most importantly, how you came to know Jesus.
Absolutely. Well, born and raised in Akron, been here all my life. I love it. It's home for me. I like to travel, and I think I like to travel because I love coming back home.
Yeah.
I'm an Akron native. I serve at the Arlington Church of God as the Minister of Praise and Worship Arts. I've been here now, over 30 years.
Wow.
I'm grateful to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful community. I came to know Christ because I was a part of a wonderful, saved group of family.
Okay.
My mother loved God and my daddy loved God, and my grandmother was a wonderful woman of God. And so watching them live and serve the Lord was very contagious and very easy to want to be a part of. So I came to know the Lord because of just a wonderful family that loved the Lord.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? How like our family lineage can be that solidifying factor that even leads us into a life of faith and service.
Absolutely. I'm grateful, forever grateful for watching my mother and her sisters and my grandmother just love the Lord.
Yeah. So Leslie, I know that you're well aware that this year we've been talking a lot about discipleship. You served on a panel at Start Fresh. So thank you, by the way, for being a part of that. But how has the practice of discipleship, how has it impacted you and the way that you interact with people both inside and outside of the church?
You know what, RW, recently I would say I have learned that I have to earn the right to share the gospel with someone else. Walking up, throwing Jesus at people just doesn't work. And or only hanging around people. We all talk the same language. We're all talking Jesus, but I still have to earn the right. So I need to know your name. Maybe that might be a good thing. And find out who you are and be willing to tell you a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
And so I've learned recently, I would even admit that I have to earn the right to be able to share the gospel. And so taking time to learn people and learn to care about them, to really care about them. And of course, if I care about them, I want them to know Jesus.
Yeah. I love your heart in that statement. I mean, just the fact of relationship being important, intentionality being important. And Leslie, I'll be honest with you, when you said, I want to know your name, I mean, there's something so powerful about knowing a name that opens the door for so many opportunities.
Oh, yes. Especially the next time I see you.
Right.
I was all in and telling you how much Jesus loves you. And then the next time I see you, I'm going, so just, and that's not easy for me. I'm not good at names. I've made it a commitment this year to do better. I believe that people walk in Sunday after Sunday after Sunday and people don't say hi. I'm good at, hey, sugar, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, brother, how you doing? I'm good at that. And so I'm trying to do better because people enjoy hearing their name.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Leslie, I know that family is an important part of African-American culture. Very important part. So how does the value of family intersect with the value of sharing Jesus with others? And how have you seen this played out right there at Arlington Church of God?
I think one of the things that drew me to Arlington is everybody is auntie and uncle somebody. So I must have 500 nieces and nephews easy across the nation. And I just love that it's not just a title, it's who I am
Right.
to them, and it's who they are to me. And it just keeps going back to this relationship thing. And so knowing someone close enough to really show who I really am.
Yeah.
So the conversations that happen in the car, the conversations that go on while you're watching the basketball game, the conversations that happen after everybody is walked away and you're in the parking lot. Those real relationships is when I think people really, really get a chance to see whether or not I really love the Lord. And those are the opportunities that I get a chance to represent Christ with those who really know me, people who can look at me and tell that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Or can hear me when I'm really excited about something, when this is really the Lord speaking, and they know that because we're in relationship like that. And also knowing that there are some family members that I know that are lost, and I love them. We're family, we're cousins. We've grew up together. And I know that they don't know the Lord, been around the church, can quote scripture as well as anybody.
Yeah.
I know they're outside of Christ. That family pull is strong. And so just wanting to find myself in the position perhaps to be able to share with them that the Lord loves them more than I love them, and they know I love them.
Yeah.
And that the Lord loves them even more is a wonderful hope that the Lord will allow me to be able to share his grace and his mercy and his love with them.
In the last couple of moments, you have focused on a lot of the idea of relationship. And I think you even said something to that effect when we were at Start Fresh and emphasized the importance of relationships. So how has relationship and developing relationships with people, how has that strategy of discipleship been for you, both successful, but also where has it been a struggle?
That's out of my comfort zone. People don't believe it because I'm always up singing, leading, but I really am an introvert. I'm not a go-getter and hop into the middle of things. That's just not my nature. And I was won to the Church of God. I didn't grow up Church of God.
Okay.
And so I was won because Sister Cleo Myricks was so welcoming. She was so kind. She invited me to everything. She took me with her, traveled with me everywhere, saw in me gifting that I didn't see, that I didn't know. I knew I loved to sing, and didn't everybody? I mean, doesn't everybody love to sing? And so she just took me with her and loved me and sat me at her kitchen table, and we ate and shopped and just loved me with all of my raw, rough edges. She loved me and eventually told me that I would take her place in ministry. And I was like, never, because nobody could ever be you. And so learning that has not been easy for me.
Yeah.
To just be that wide open, welcoming, come on in here kind of person isn't necessarily easy. But every time I've been there, every time I've opened my arms and let someone in, let someone just lay on me and cry, or just let somebody sit with me who would have maybe not been welcomed in.
Yeah.
That's what Sister Myricks did for me. And it was because I was sitting with her that I was okay. And so now to be able to do that it's a wonderful thing to be able to welcome people into the family of God, for no other reason except that God loved us so much that he sent his son. And we couldn't earn it. We didn't deserve it, but he paid that price for us.
Yeah.
So we get that chance to do that for others.
I love what you said, Leslie, about being an introvert, but realizing that as an introvert, God still has called me to be a disciple maker, which means getting out of that comfort zone, even as an introvert, and interacting with people. And you saw that modeled for you, which now you are modeling for other people, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying. I'm learning to listen, because, man, we can just talk just because everybody's talking. But trying to learn how to pay attention and to hear, and to see some things that maybe somebody else would overlook. And I hugged a young lady a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, you've been on my mind." And she said, "How you doing, Sister Leslie?" And I said, "Good." I said, "How you doing? You doing good?" And she said, "No." And I thought, this was supposed to be one of those regular, "Yeah, I'm good. Okay, fine. All right. See you later" kind of things. And so just listening sometimes and giving people an opportunity to say, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
Or, "I'm doing great. I really am." And it's okay to be doing great, to be doing fine. And that's good too.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So when she said no, did you listen even more?
The setting we were in, I said, "Then you got to give me some time.
Ah, that's good.
You got to give me some time." And she said, "Okay." And so I'm still working on that. We want things to happen really snappy, quick, and I've looked at her and kind of winked, and she said, "Yeah, keep praying." So I'm praying and asking the Lord to work that out. To give us the time to be able to talk. We see each other every week, but giving us the time for her to really be in a space where she will be able to share.
Yeah. And again, that goes to the intentionality of you building relationships with people that even amidst the pain and maybe the moment's not right to talk, but it's following up. And you go, girl. Look at you. All right. So I know that this summer camp meeting is happening again.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you are playing a particular role with camp meeting. So talk about that for a little bit, and then tell us what excites you the most about being a part of the camp meeting event this year.
Yeah, I've been asked to lead the worship this year, and if you've ever been to camp meeting in the past, back in the day, music was just central.
Yeah.
And someone asked me to you, not the only person that's asked me why did I say yes to leading, and my answer has been, there is no sweeter sound than when the people of God sing.
Yeah.
And so my hope is that I can be instrumental in the whole room singing.
Okay.
I can't wait until we are in there and the entire room is singing. And there's a power that happens when we lift the Lord up in song and in praise and in worship, and barriers are dropped, and hearts are drawn back close to the Lord, and we remember why we sing, and the words come back, and all of that. And I just cannot wait until we are all together singing praises to the Lord.
That's going to be fun. I mean, I've seen you lead on the platform recently in other events, like at Church of God convention last year. Mm-hmm. So if that's if that's a small bit of what it's going to be like, it's going to be a fantastic time.
Well, I'm hoping anybody that's listening and is planning to be there, I'm calling all singers, everybody. My sister Myrick used to say, when people would say, "Well, there's not enough room for everybody," she would say, "Isn't that a wonderful dilemma?" And so I'm hoping that we're trying to figure out how to get everybody up on the stage to sing. We're living in a time of praise teams and perfection singing, and I love it. I love it. That's not a crack. So don't write me letters. But but I know that there are some people who have been made to feel like they can't sing anymore because they're not good enough to be on the microphone. So this is your opportunity to come and get in with us, one big, crazy, all-out choir, just singing so that the whole room is praising God.
So what I'm hearing you say is that people should come to Anderson for anything else but to worship together.
Absolutely. And that's what's wonderful when we are looking at each other and smiling and remembering and loving each other. And the presence of the Lord is in the place. So he's healing and moving and touching and delivering and changing, all in the midst of that. It's just no better space to be. You need to come. You need to say, I'm going to make my way to Anderson then.
All right. Well, Leslie, as we wrap up this episode of the COGO Podcast, what word of challenge would you give leaders in Ohio when it comes to the practice of discipleship?
RW, I looked at that question, and it's not going to just happen.
That's good.
It's not going to just happen. I've been in the church long enough that I see people who have never been discipled, and they've been in the church 30 years, easy. If we don't intentionally begin to prepare and teach and train and help our people understand the necessity for it. It's not just, it's a catchy thing right through here. You can't get online and not see somebody that's doing a discipleship conference somewhere on discipleship. And here are the 5 steps and here are the 10 steps. And I'm not mad about that at all. But it's not going to just happen. Leaders, we have got to say, what are we going to do? What am I going to do in my house? What am I going to do at my church? Because what works for you may not work for me.
Right.
But it's got to work. You've got to figure out what's going to work. And it's not going to just happen. And it's not going to be quick.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. It's going to take years. But I plead to leadership. Lay before God and ask him, what are we supposed to be doing so that we can live out Matthew 28? So that we can really go and make disciples who will make disciples. And it won't just be something that we're doing and we're given a button and a certificate at the end of it, but that we realize for the rest of my life, let me be found being a disciple.
Yeah. Leslie, I'm replaying in my mind the intentionality and time. Those were 2 words that resonated a lot at Start Fresh. I think all 3 of you panel speakers kind of spoke into that. And there's a lot of truth to that. It's going to take our intentionality. It's not just going to come, as you said, it's going to take our time, which means it could be an investment of years down the road. But it takes us being intentional with that investment. Thank you for that challenge. That's good. I needed that today. So thank you. Leslie, thanks for joining us on the COGO Podcast. Certainly do appreciate it. Looking forward to your worship experience and leadership at camp meeting. Friends, as you see Leslie and Anderson, you better go and say hello, give her a snuggle, sing a little tune into her ear. But blessings to you, friend. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, friends, that's all we got for this episode of the COGO Podcast. Until the next time we drop an episode, may God bless your efforts. And remember, it only takes a little bit of intentionality to make a difference in the life of somebody toward Christ. So be intentional. Blessings, friends.